supporting Rotary in the fight against polio. That's our topic this morning. And we have Rotarians with us in the studio this morning that will help us talk about how far they've gone in the fight against polio and what they intend to do more to make sure that this ugly menace, this ugly ailment is reduced to the barest minimum. We have with us in the studios this morning Rotarian Anambra. He is the District Governor, Rotary District 9142. Glad to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you very much. It's my privilege to be here.
Okay, and we also have Rotarian Olachi Emegako, Chairman of his community for the 2023 Polio Plus Seminar. She is also the Past Assistant Governor, PAG. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
All right. Now, quickly, let's start with you, Governor. I hope I'm free to call you that.
Go ahead. You have all the privilege.
Now, but when we talk about Governor, District Governor Rotary, Rotary District 9142, I don't know, where are you governing? I want to know the states and the places that you are the governor.
Well, Rotary is an international service organization founded in 1905. Rotary has its own structures, and Rotary in Nigeria is divided into 4 districts for now.
Okay.
We have District 9110 that comprises the states of Lagos and Ogun. We have 9141, that is the states of Rivers, Edo, Delta, and Bayelsa. We have District 9125, the entire northern states, Abuja, Ekiti, Ondo, and Oshun. And we have District 9142, the entire 5 states in the southeast, Akwa Ibom and Cross River. Now, every Rotarian that leads, and supervises the activities of, the Rotary clubs in these districts are called the district governor. Okay. So as a district governor, I am privileged to supervise, to lead, and appraise the clubs in the states of District 9142. So that's what it is.
Okay. On a lighter note, so you are a big man. You are superintending over 5 plus 2 states. That's 7 states, right?
Depends on what you mean by big man.
Okay. All right, glad to hear that. Let's talk about Rotary. I know an organization like this must have their aim, the aim for instituting such organizations. So we want to know the aim, the mission of this great organization.
And Rotary started, like I said, on 1905. When it started, the focus was on friendship.
Okay.
It was basically on friendship. Because the man who started Rotary, his name was Paul Harris. He lived in an environment in the vicinity, a suburb of Chicago. He realized that he was a lawyer. He realized that in this suburb that he lived, he had no friends. All he had was acquaintances and clients. And so one day, one of his clients came, and they decided to take a walk. And while they were walking in the suburb and the streets, the friend was now introducing him to people who lived in that suburb and that street with him. And he felt very bad that if I could live here, I don't have friends. There was need for us, for businessmen and professionals, to come together, have an organization that will solely be responsible for bonding of unity and friendship. That was the concept of Rotary at the initial time. But over the years, Rotary has transformed from that of a friendship to a service organization, a leadership organization, and an organization that is determined to add value to lives and communities. So that's what we stand for. That is what Rotary is.
Okay, let's come to you, Rotarian Olachi. When we look at Rotary as an organization, just like he had mentioned, I know that we have members all over the world, spread all over the world. But who are the people that are qualified to join Rotary?
Rotary membership, a lot of people look at it and they say the Rotary Club is only for people who are rich, who have money, who can put in money, to do things. But Rotary membership is open to people who are of good standing in the society, most importantly, must have a profession. You must have a source of livelihood, something that you do every day. So it is open to professionals, accountants, lawyers, doctors, cooks, fashion designers, as long as you have good standing in the community and then you have a source of livelihood. It is open to everyone.
Okay. And then...
And let me add, you've heard her, quite good.
Okay.
And you also must consider the fact that before you come to Rotary or you become a member, you must be someone who has a passion to serve. Because Rotary is a service organization. You must be someone who has a passion to serve. When you do not have a passion to serve, you cannot think of Rotary. Like she's rightly said, that Rotarians, not that they have too much, not that they are bourgeois, but they are people with that passion to serve. So even if they can afford a meal in a day, they are ready to share that meal with others. That's who Rotarians are. Exceptional people doing exceptional things in our communities.
Okay, so now the members, what do they stand to gain by being member of Rotary?
Enormous advantages of being members.
Okay.
The Rotary pin open doors for everybody. Yes, I've spoken about leadership, being a leadership organization. When you come to Rotary, Rotary has a lot of trainings that when you go through those trainings, you become a better person in your organization, in your profession, and in what you do. Rotary is a place where you come to and you have a network of friends all over the world. Rotary is a place that you come to and you are given you meet people that ordinarily you would not meet. And Rotary is a place, I tell people, you can never be lost, as a Rotarian in the world, because Rotary is a global, it brings together global people. So there are so many things to be gained as a member of Rotary. That's why you see people being passionate about Rotary, being in Rotary, and then Rotary also open doors for people.
Okay.
So we're inviting you to come to the summit.
Okay. Well, actually, let's come back to you now. Not quite long ago, that should be within the week. We read in the news where we are decorating the wife of the governor of Anambra State, giving her the Paul Harris Fellow. And I'm not sure she's a Rotarian. So I want you to explain to us the Paul Harris Fellow. Is that what you give to people that are not Rotarians, maybe because of what they have done, in the society? Or you must be a Rotarian for you to get that?
Okay. The Paul Harris Fellow pin was what she was decorated with.
Okay.
Now, the Rotary has a foundation. Okay. For everybody who gives, either member or non-member, who gives $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation for any of its causes is entitled to be decorated with the Paul Harris Fellow pin. So you do not have to be a member to be a Paul Harris Fellow. But if you are a member, you can also be a Paul Harris Fellow. We have a lot of people, non-Rotarians, who are Paul Harris Fellow. Yeah, so whether you're a member or not, the thing is, if you give $1,000 to the foundation, you become a Paul Harris Fellow.
You're smiling.
Oh, because I know you start donating.
Okay, now you made mention of people that should be members of Rotary. They must be professionals in their different life endeavors.
Or have a vocation.
Or vocation. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Now, what about, I've heard about Rotractors. Who are those people?
Okay, Rotractors are young men and women. We usually have them in the university level, below 30 years, Rotaractors. So they are not old enough because they don't have a vocation to be Rotarians. Okay. So we catch them young. We don't just have Rotaractors, we have Interactors who are also the young ones in secondary school.
Okay, I'm hearing that one for the first time.
Yes, and then we have Early Act, who are young children in primary school. Okay. So we have Early Act in primary school, Interactors in secondary school, Rotaractors in university and community-based clubs.
Okay. So what are the activities like in schools? I'm not talking about Rotary, the Rotaractors, Interactors, and the Early Actors.
Okay. For Rotaractors, I started as an interactor and then became a Rotaractor when I was in the university. Like we say, it's an organization that, helps our young ones build leadership skills. When you go into universities, I bet you the best of them are Rotaractors. The best of them holding leadership position, be it student union, government positions, are Rotaractors, because it opens the way for them to develop themselves, develop their skill, develop their leadership ability, serve the community, be useful to their community. At that stage we have young people who, for one reason or the other, might stray away and might not, be doing the right things. Now, this club, it's an avenue for them to channel all that energy in serving the community and doing better for themselves and their community.
Okay, thank you so much. Rotarian Akan.
Akan.
Okay, sorry, Akan.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, Akan. Did you also you started your journey as a Rotaractor? And then again, I want to know how being a Rotary member, how it has, impacted on your life.
Well, I'm also one of those privileged Rotarians who was an interactor in my secondary school days. And as I got into the university, I was a Rotaractor. And today I'm a Rotarian, Rotaract has really impacted my life. It has helped me as a person in my profession. It has helped me as a person in building my capacity. It has helped me as a person in expanding my network of friendship and professional friendship, And I was sharing this to someone this week, I think Rotarians. I said I remember vividly how I was, I think at the Jordan airport or Turkey airport. I had missed the gate to my flight where I was to take off. And I had a mental knowledge of the time I was to fly. At that time, I didn't hear them make a call. And somehow I walked up to the airport staff and I pleaded, oh, what's happening? When is the call? At that point, they called in someone who now said, no, that's not, I was at the wrong gate. That flight, they just made the last, at that commotion, someone came out. And then asked, what's the problem? I think it was a bigger person. And then when we're trying to explain, and he saw my pin and said, you are a Rotarian? I said, yes. He said, okay. He stood there, made a call, and took me by the hand. We made like up to about 10, 15 minutes. Everybody had boarded, and they were waiting. Had to take me right into that plane. That is one of the advantages you have as a Rotarian. That's why I said the Rotary pin and with Rotary membership, open doors for people.
Okay, let's talk about the Polio Plus campaign, or rather, yes, the fight against polio, because that's the major reason why we are here to talk about it. And now, when I saw the topic, I was like, we have a whole lot of ailment, diseases that is plaguing us as a nation and all over the world. But why did you decide to fight against polio? Why choosing polio?
Well, let me say this so that our viewers out there, will understand why we've been in this. Poliomyelitis was one of the diseases that was plaguing children of the world. In 1978, the Rotary International conceived a program that was called the 3H program, Health, Hunger, and Humanity. And when this program was conceived in 1978, Rotary leadership then asked themselves, what do we need to do? Philippines as a country came out of a civil war, and there were very many, hundreds of thousands of malnutritious children, and very many of them were plagued by poliomyelitis. And so they got into that country in 1979, informing the president and the entire country leadership, and went spent hugely and immunized over 500,000 children of the Philippines. And they saw how that was important, how that had helped to curb the rise and the incidences of the report that they were gathering, the data they were gathering. And with the success of that, Rotary International could stay in the floor of the United Nations General Assembly in 1980 and announced to world leaders, World Health Organization, United States Center for AIDS Disease and Control, that Rotary International will eradicate polio in the world. That to World Health Organization and some world leaders seemed a joke. How can this be? Who are these organizations? Something that World Health cannot do. So they started an engagement. They came together, had a committee, started an engagement. And from 1983, something started. So I need you to know that every child in the world that receives that oral polio vaccination has been courtesy of Rotary International and its partners. So we've been in this forefront from that time till today. And our pledge to the children of the world and the world is that we would come to that place where no child will ever suffer from poliomyelitis. Now imagine our economy, our socio-economic status today. People are not deformed and they are finding it difficult to survive. Imagine if they were deformed. Now, about 2 years ago or thereabout, the World Health Organization had certified Nigeria polio free. But we still have polio in Pakistan and Afghanistan. And Rotarians must ensure that this fight comes to that point where polio is eradicated in Pakistan and Afghanistan. But for us as Nigerians, we must keep polio at zero. That's why we have the national immunization rounds, and every time the health workers will come. Let me also shock you and some viewers that when the polio immunization was an injection, the man who invented that medication was a Rotarian. The one who has also invented the one that is used as for the oral polio vaccination is a Rotarian. So what we do is this: October 24th is known as the World Polio Day. Yeah. Everywhere in the world they celebrate that day. What Rotary has done, what the impact of Rotary, our challenges, and so it is donations like that into the foundation, like you already said. His Excellency, the wife of the governor, is one of our supporters. She is the polio ambassador for this district, and she has made a contribution to the Rotary Foundation. And so for every $1 everybody, Rotarian or our partners and friends donates, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation supports that $1 with $2 additional dollars. So that's why this fight is our determined effort. That's why we are in Oka this week. Because in Oka this week, we are going to have a polio summit. We'll begin with a walk on Saturday morning, and then the main polio summit in the... Okay,
that's not for you.
Okay.
That's for Olachi. I want her to tell us what you have planned for this year's polio commemoration of Polio Day. What do you have planned here in Oka? Because I know it's happening tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So tell us the activities.
The activities, some would start today. Like today, we'll be unveiling the polio billboard. That's somewhere after the Aroma Head Bridge. We'll do the unveiling today by 3 p.m. And then tomorrow, we're going to start with a walk, a sensitization walk to create awareness. It's going to be flagged off at the Anambra Primary Healthcare Center. So we are going to have some symbolic immunization of children against the polio virus. And then the walk will be flagged off by the wife of the governor tomorrow at 8 a.m. We'll be walking through the Anambra Primary Healthcare Center, down the old road to Ikoka, and then towards Ekweme Square. Thereafter, we shall have the Polio Plus seminar. The polio seminar will be held at the ASU Secretariat of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University. At the seminar, we hope to congratulate ourselves, at the milestones and how we've been able to reduce the incidences, and also educate ourselves, of the difficulties we're having, the challenges, and how we need to, put in more effort to ensure that we keep polio at zero. So that is what it is for this week. Okay, so the seminar is just for Rotarians? It is for participants, Rotarians and invited guests.
Okay. All right, now the topic for this year is Rotary creating hope for the world. Now, I want to know how you've talked about so many interventions, especially in eradication of polio. But now, using the topic, the theme for this Rotary year, Rotary, creating hope to the world. What do you tend to achieve at the end of the day?
Well, for us as Rotarians, every Rotary year, there is a theme for that Rotary year.
Okay.
For this Rotary year, our theme is creating hope in the world. And so how do we intend to create hope in the world? We intend to create hope in the world by ensuring that our projects to our communities bring laughter to the people, add value to their lives, improve their conditions. For instance, one of other cardinal things we would be doing, we're doing this year, is the concept of mental health. And that we keep telling people that mental health challenge is a reality. You know, maybe also because of the challenging times you're facing, people are going through a lot of pressure. And sometimes they're not able to talk to anyone. They're so bottled up within themselves. Maybe also they think when they come to you to talk to you, you will now take their matters out. They become a parrot for them, and that the matters that they would have handled is heard there. And while they're looking for ways to handle this matter, they are not, and the pressure comes and mental challenge comes in. So this is one of the things we're doing, and that's why when I arrived to Anambra State and I heard of the laudable project Her Excellency is doing, healthy living with Nonye. And I was so impressed that I heard it's even been introduced in the primary and secondary school, which will help. Exercises alone can help, break the steam in you, and the counseling, So Rotary is ensuring that this year our focus in everything we do. Yesterday I went to flag off a project in a school somewhere. Went to that school. There is no toilet facility in that school. So we're building a toilet facility, and we'll also put up drilled water there, for hygiene and for everything. So imagine that place. The children will defecate out there. It will bring diseases. So I tell everybody who cares to listen, government cannot do it alone. So that's why you have Rotary. And we also appeal to well-being Nigerians to also support the Rotary clubs to do more. So our focus is that in all we do, we want to create hope, in our communities. We want to create hope in the world. That's why you have Rotary clubs everywhere.
Okay.
So you can join us and create, beginning from you.
Okay. Olachi, as a past assistant governor, and also you are the chairman of the host community for this year's 2023, that's our Polio Plus seminar. I want to know what your activities, what it's like in Oka, and I'm not talking about Rotary International as a whole, what you have been doing so far in helping humanity. He mentioned flagging of a project yesterday at a particular school. Now, apart from the fight against polio, are there other places or other things you are delving into to help the humanity? Okay.
Rotary has this area of focus. And we do projects in our communities as it pertains, as it affects those areas of focus. Sometime in September, we had maternal and child health, and so we have Rotary clubs in Onitsha, Newi, Oka, carrying out projects that will, ensure that women, especially most of the projects that were carried out was to ensure that women who are pregnant and who are, at the point of who are pregnant get kits, pregnancy kits. In this difficult economic situation, not every woman can really pack a pregnancy kit and buy everything. So some clubs had pregnancy kits, delivery kits shared to mothers and children, and we also had a basic education and literacy program. It will interest you to know my club had a school. We went to the farm settlement school at Ibariam, and it will surprise you to know that they still use blackboards. Yes. So these are the kind of things we do. We'll go around, we do needs assessment, we check what they need, and we provide. So my club that's the Rotary Club of Oka Urban, provided good white boards for them. For some schools, there are children who can't afford school uniforms. They sold school uniforms for them. For some schools, they conducted spelling bee competitions. For some schools, they provided back-to-school item bags, books, and all that. So in all this area of focus for every month, this month is also our economic empowerment month. And most clubs have started. You know, there are some women who are into petty trading who don't even have enough capital to run. So some clubs will be giving out, you know, empowerment to such women, and some will be training children, maybe in a vocation, sewing, tailoring. Some will be paid, giving scholarships to children who cannot pay for their school fees. So these and many other things are what the Rotary clubs in Anambra are doing, and Rotarians all over the world came into.
Okay, have you done anything on preserving and protecting our environment?
Oh, yes.
That's one of the areas of focus.
Okay.
So we're doing it.
Yeah. In fact, a club in Oka, this Rotary year, had a erosion site at Enuguku. So they worked in conjunction with the environment, the Ministry of Environment, yes, to go there and plant trees in those erosion sites. Yes, that was conducted, I think, in September. Yeah.
So you can imagine that if there was no Rotary Club, these interventions will be happening. So Rotary is indeed there to create hope in the world.
School. Now, do you once in a while have a meeting with those people, like where you call and maybe have seminar with them, talk with them, and all those leadership qualities we are talking about, you know, trying to impact that knowledge in them? How often do you do that?
Okay. For every Early Act, Interact, or Rotary Act club, there is a sponsoring Rotary. For every Rotary Act club, there is a sponsoring Rotary club. Okay. Now, the sponsor club ensures that these Rotractors are taken care of. They are the ones that go see them once in a while. The Rotractors also organize leadership trainings where we come speak to them. They have something called the ROTS, Rotary Officers Training. So we have Rotarians come speak to them. They organize little programs where we come. We also go to their clubs to supervise them. So that's why a Rotary club cannot exist if there is no sponsoring Rotary club. The role of sponsoring is to supervise and ensure that they are doing the right thing.
Okay, coming back to you, Governor, what is the role of Rotary as an international club to their members? Now, why I ask this question, because I've seen some organizations, some clubs like this, where you, peradventure, one of the members is engaged in one illicit behavior or the other, and at the end of the day, they have to, you know, maybe suspend the person or just take up a particular. I remember there's a one that they took up the case, and they had to even take the person to a rehabilitation home and all that. Now, my question is, if someone, a Rotary member, misbehaves or is involved in one illicit, a thing or the other, what do you do? How do you come in to help the member?
Now, the Rotary Club all over the world has what governs it, and we call it a manual of procedure. You have a manual of procedure, we have a constitution, that governs us. Beyond that, every club has what it calls the bylaws. Okay. You develop your bylaws to suit, your uniqueness and the peculiarity of the area for which you're operating. Now, like she rightly said when you were asking what are the qualifications to being a member of the Rotary, she tells you the person must be of good standing and good character. That's why we don't admit everybody. When you come and you're interested, first, you're invited to Rotary. Or maybe you go online and see Rotary activities and you're interested, and then you say, I want to be a member. And they will send you that link, we call it membership link, to the Rotary leadership in that area. And by that, they are to call you. And that what happens is that when you come, we have a process of recruitment. In that process, your name is, mentioned to the board of directors, or even if you were invited by a member, after maybe attending 3 consecutive meetings, and you indicate your interest to become a Rotarian, members will hear, so your name is recommended to the members, and members will be asked if anybody has anything against you. If anybody has anything against you, it will be investigated. And if you're a member also, particularly this happens in our members that are politicians, or big men, we live in a country where there's a lot of PhD, pull him down.
Yes.
And so we would have to follow. We wouldn't be quick in judging our member. But if there are, evidences to prove that that is a certain, We don't have any choice than withdrawing your membership, delisting your name from the Rotary Club, because we do not want, issues where our club becomes a suspect because of who you are. But Rotarians have always held themselves, they try as much as possible not to get into such challenges. That's why we have what we call like the Rotary Bible, the 4-way test.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, that's why we'll tell you that the 4-way test is the things we think, say or do. The first is that, is it the truth? The second is that, is it fair to all concerned? The third is that, will it build goodwill and better friendships? The fourth is that, will it be beneficial to all concerned? So we expect that as a Rotarian, you will be guided by these 4-way tests in your actions, your deeds, your utterances, and all you do.
Okay. That's a good one. All right, still on the polio campaign or Polio Plus seminar that is happening tomorrow. Just like you've mentioned that it's just the invited guests, because I know you did not invite me, but I wanted to be part of the... I'm
going to invite you. You're going to be the DJ's guest.
Okay.
You will be the DJ's
guest. Okay. So once again, where is, I want us to, really emphasize on where it's happening again tomorrow, the time you're taking off and everything, just before we go.
Okay, so 8 a.m. tomorrow, the polio walk starts at the Primary Healthcare Center in Anambra. Okay. Everybody is free to join us in the walk. It's a Saturday morning. It could be you could use it as your form of exercise for that morning. So everybody is free to join us 8 a.m. at the Anambra Primary Healthcare Center. That's where we'll flag off the polio walk. Okay. And then by 12 noon, we move straight to the ASU Secretariat of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University.
11 noon.
11. We'll move to the ASU Secretariat at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, as we would have the polio seminar.
Okay, that's where the seminar is happening. Okay, Governor, you've been in Anambra for how long now?
I've been in Anambra since Sunday. I arrived in Anambra on Sunday.
Okay, so how is the hospitality like?
Beautiful.
Wonderful place, and I must commend His Excellency, the Governor of Anambra State. I've seen a lot of changes in Anambra as I came in this time, and I understand that he's a solution provider, and we thank him for what he's doing. The basic necessity of any leader is to add life, add value to lives, to give the people the basic infrastructure. And beyond that, I must commend him for the calm security, that I have witnessed this time in Anambra. All through our drive down here, we saw that places were calm. Even when the driver was taking me to areas that we never took for a long time, I was scared. He said, no, it's calm. So Anambra is there. The host organizing committee chair and other members, the Rotarians here, they've been awesome and wonderful.
Okay. So you'll be visiting often, right?
I have a lot of states and a lot of other clubs to go.
Okay. Once again, welcome to Anambra State.
Thank you very much.
And just before we go, Rotary Olachi, your last word, like word of encouragement, and also, a way of telling people to join Rotary International.
So Rotary, we in this Rotary year, we've been asked to create hope to our communities, and then we can create hope by ourselves, but we also need the support of every individual in the world. It is one thing for us to say that, we're going to fight to eradicate polio, we're going to put in our funds, but we also want to encourage people. Like I said before, you do not have to be a Rotarian to donate to the Rotary Foundation. So I encourage people to do that, to also learn more about Rotary. Rotary has a very robust website. So you can go to www.rotary.org. You can, also, get a click button there where you can donate to the foundation, ask questions, search everything about Rotary, and if possible, join Rotary too. Thank you.
Do you want to add anything to that, Governor?
No, she said everything, but I want to say that Rotary has come to stay. Rotary will add value to lives, and communities in Anambra. And we invite well-meaning Anambra citizens and people living in Anambra to join any of the Rotary clubs here, because Rotary truly creates hope in the world. Well,
on that note, we want to say a very big thank you to both of you, Rotary and Ekan Emma. He is the District Governor of Rotary District 9142. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And also Rotarian Olachi Emega, co-chairman, host community for the 2023 Polio Plus Seminar, and also the past Assistant Governor, PhD. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
It's my pleasure.
All right. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. I want to wish you a very beautiful weekend. Bye for now.